5 News This Morning starts now.
Well, AI continues to grow, but how is it being used in your child's school district? We have more on that in just a couple of minutes.
And President Trump will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin today. Live look outside right now. Look at all those sunrises across the area. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, hey, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on 5 News this morning. Hey, it's Friday. We're waking up in a good mood because that weekend is just right around the corner.
Yes, right around the corner. Hey, we have a segment called that.
Yeah, we do.
We do. And coming up, actually, in this show, we're going to have a new episode of Around the Corner
Look
for
at
you.
that, Joe.
Mount Sequoia, and let me tell you, this sunrise right now would be perfect on that.
Yeah, don't miss it.
Yes, unfortunately, I wish it felt as good as it looks out there because, yeah, it is quite soupy already. Temperatures this morning are in the mid to upper 70s. And again, when it's that high, the dew point is on the higher side. So it is just going to be a hot and humid day as you're walking outside. But for right now, it is looking very gorgeous out there. For those headed out to the bus stop, temperatures are, as you saw, in the 70s. We'll see that sunshine, but muggy conditions by recess or lunchtime. It is going to be hot. Some areas already hitting the low 90s for temperatures. Some, the heat index already into the triple digits. And then we'll see area-wide triple digits as you're heading home about, let's say, 3-4 o'clock. Maybe a stray storm, especially in the River Valley, but the vast majority of us stay dry. There's that feels like for Northwest Arkansas. Some in the area could maybe eclipse 105 and staying current around that 105, 106 region as we head through the rest of the day today. And then for the River Valley, approaching 110 for that area and still staying in the triple digits by 7 o'clock. So we are going to see some relief on the way starting midweek next week, but through Tuesday is going to be a whole lot like this for much of that stretch. So we'll talk more about that coming up in your full forecast. For now, we'll take a live look at traffic on this Friday morning. Take a live look along I-40 at exit 37 in Ozark. Good morning to you there. There's one car, I guess. There we go. There's a semi there. Again, it's a nice day. Just be careful with the heat. Maybe give yourself a few extra minutes just because now school's picking up across the region. So, you'll have that full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Joe and Tiffany.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, school districts in our area finished their first few weeks of school here, many balancing the growing concerns about artificial intelligence in the classroom.
And to give us an idea of how it could end up being used at your kid's school, 5 News reporter Emily Moss is joining us live in Springdale with their plan. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Joe and Tiffany. AI is growing fast. It's constantly changing, but so are the growing concerns about how it's being used as a child in the classroom and how it's being used as teachers in the classroom. This week, I spoke to 4 different districts about how they're planning on using this technology this year during this constantly growing and changing landscape.
Right now, AI is just moving faster than what educational institutions can react. That's probably the biggest challenge.
5 new school districts are each exploring artificial intelligence in different ways, embracing its benefits to education, but with caution. At Sallisaw Schools, the district is using AI to help with some instruction in technology, such as drone curated crop reports in agriculture.
What we have to do as an institution is continue to upgrade our technology to kind of keep pace with those changes.
This fall at Springdale Public Schools, the district is launching a task force consisting of staff, students, and teachers to develop new policies and curriculum for AI.
And there's a really interesting phrase, like, you don't know what you don't know, and that's really the whole world of AI right now. It's really the Wild West, and it's advancing so fast. So what our goal is to do is to work on best practices that's going to put in place recommendations that could lead to policies.
Well, at both Fort Smith and Fayetteville schools, the districts have piloted programs for certain teachers to test out what works.
That's their future. So how can they use it in a discriminatory way so that they are really looking into AI for what it is, something that you have to analyze. It really makes our students think on a higher level, so we are embracing it.
And what doesn't.
So the plan is just kind of provide that guided structure in what our philosophy is as a district, how we will use it, how we won't use it, what grade levels will be allowed to use it, and what capacity.
While AI continues to grow, the districts say the key is to find ways to use it effectively and prepare the next generation for their futures.
We're hopeful that what this does is it helps our young people, A, gain experience, but B, really learn how to use it to help them for life after high school.
Well, at Springdale, the task force will begin meeting regularly this fall. They're even expecting by the end of the semester to have a class project to present and show how they've learned how to use AI in their classrooms. At Fayetteville and Fort Smith, they've piloted these programs with some teachers to try to figure out what they would like to do with AI. They hope to have their policies set by the end of the semester to have them implemented by the spring. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Emily. Well, safety is taking the wheel in a new way with the first of its kind initiative from the Arkansas Department of Transportation.
Yeah, it'll be taught in our Arkansas schools, and 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi joins us live in Fayetteville with more. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Joe. The Arkansas Department of Transportation tells me that they were starting to see an alarming number of crashes and fatalities involving young drivers aged 16 through 24 right here in the state. And so they thought to do something about that, to try to lower those stats. So they created this curriculum to try and educate young drivers long before they ever got behind the wheel. Now go ahead and take a look at this video. This is what students and teachers can soon be expecting as part of this program. RDOT says the new program, called Street Smart, is the first of its kind right here in the state of Arkansas and is set to roll out this school year. About 2 years ago, Arkansas transportation officials were inspired by a Georgia Department of Transportation program that's aimed at reducing crashes involving young drivers. So they decided to create their own safety initiative to teach middle schoolers important lessons about road safety, from using crosswalks to recognizing distracted driving. There are plans to expand this program to high school and elementary students in the coming years. Now, this program was made possible with the $500,000 federal safety funds. They developed free online materials, including videos, quizzes, and games for grades 6 through 8. And again, this program will be available statewide for teachers. Dave Parker with RDOT says the curriculum is designed to be both highly educational, but also engaging for young audiences.
We hope they watch these videos, these younger kids, and it's kind of like their big brother, their big sister talking to them saying, hey, this is why you need to put the phone down across the street this way. Or, hey, if you're in the back seat of a car and your buddy's kind of driving with the radio on and music and distracted, this is what you need to do. Those are real life. We took real life scenarios that we all go through, and hopefully will resonate with these kids.
Now, the Arkansas Department of Transportation says that they worked hand in hand with the Department of Education, talking with teachers, counselors, administrators, to make sure that the curriculum was met state standards. They hope to get it approved by the State Board of Education within this next coming week. I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Jacob. Well, in our continuing coverage, Andrew McGann, the man accused of killing a couple at Devil's Den State Park, has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of capital murder. McGann was arraigned Thursday at the Washington County Jail, but a court order barred any recording in or around the courtroom. The public was also completely barred from viewing the arraignment. An Arkansas code says the sitting of every court has to be public, and multiple legal experts told us here at 5 News if the court closes hearings to the public, they must give a specific reason. In Thursday's Arkansas Legislative Council's Game and Fish Police meeting, Senator Terry Rice said he's also confused by the judge's decision.
There's interest from the public that wants to know, and yes, this case has to move forward, but I don't understand that either.
Well, we asked Judge Taylor's office multiple times why the proceeding was withheld from the public. They responded, quote, "We are not going to talk about this case." Now, Clinton and Kristen Brink were the victims here who were killed on the hiking trail back on July 26. They had just moved to our area to help the daughters of the victims. The city of Prairie Grove is holding a fundraiser September 6th, consisting of an auction and live music. A GoFundMe account set up by the family has also raised over $80,000 so far.
Well, Fayetteville police are looking for an armed robbery suspect. They say Thursday evening, a man entered a building on North Mall Avenue, showed a weapon, and demanded money from an employee. Here's a photo shared of the suspect by police. They say he fled on foot and describe him as wearing black shorts, a white tank top, and white shoes. They say he may be carrying a green backpack. Police say the suspect is considered armed and dangerous, and they ask anyone with information to give them a call.
Well, today, President Trump and Russia's president is set to meet at a U.S. military base in Anchorage, Alaska. At the White House, the president told reporters that today's meeting will set the table for a second one, that Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelensky, would be invited to attend. 5 News spoke with U.S. Senator Tom Cotton about what he expects from the meeting today.
If it's a bad meeting, it'll end very quickly. And if it's a good meeting, we're going to end up getting peace in the pretty near future.
Well, Cotton says the U.S. is continuing to support Ukraine with weapons delivered through NATO. He also says he supports legislation that would help President Trump impose sanctions on Russia.